mamas, welcome back. Today I am here with my lovely friend Jessica.
Hi.
She is a pediatric physical therapist that specializes in aquatic therapy, and we're going to be talking about how we can facilitate the major milestone of walking, things you can do at home, and just some general knowledge about this major milestone so you know what to expect. All right, Jessica, why don't you tell my lovely mamas a little bit more about yourself?
Hi, my name's Jessica. I'm a pediatric physical therapist, and I've worked with kiddos ages birth through 22 for 9 years. I've taught hundreds of children how to walk, so I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this milestone.
Yay!
So one of the major components of walking is having good balance. One of the activities that I work on is static standing balance, which is essentially just holding your balance while you're standing still. One of the ways I like to work on this is playing at a vertical surface. So having kids play at a sliding glass door or a mirror. I especially like suction toys because they can mount onto anything and they're really versatile.
That's a great idea. I'm going to stop you there for a second. So Jess mentioned like a sliding glass door or a mirror, which is an awesome vertical surface. And think of all the fun things. So the suction cups, even like if you want to incorporate sensory play in there, like shaving cream or foam, you know, so endless, get creative. I know for myself and probably other moms out there, you're like, great, that sounds like a mess. But it's really, really great for your little one's development. And like she's saying, learning how to balance in that static position. Okay,
most definitely. Another thing I've known about kids is they love bubbles.
Yes.
So even just having your little one stand in the middle of the room so there's nothing for them to hold on to and blow bubbles. Catch the bubbles on the wand and let them pop them. That is a really good way to catch their attention.
Smart. Because both hands are busy. So if you do something where both hands are busy, they can't go searching. And a lot of times I've noticed it's like kids just need sometimes to be distracted. They have a fear in their head of standing up on their own, and for security they'd be totally fine on their own, but they just think in their head, I need to hold on to something. But if you distract them with play and both hands are busy, they find themselves standing on their own, and it's like, look at you. So,
Didn't even know what was happening.
Totally.
Yeah. The next component that I work on for walking skills is strengthening. So having trunk strength and having strength in the legs are very important. So some of the things I do for strengthening are baby squats. So when your child is standing at the couch, have them reach down past their knees to reach for a toy.
Okay.
And this is something that you would want to do over and over again. So depending on what they're interested in, you can do putting toys into a bin or reaching for any type of small toy that they like playing with, pegs or blocks. And you want to do this over and over again to work on strengthening.
What parts of their legs are they? Well, all parts of their legs, but what's being activated when, you know, we're doing the squatting, when we're going from up and down positions?
So the weight shifting, you're working on anterior, posterior weight shifting. So weight shifting backwards and then forwards again. And then essentially working on glute strengthening and quadricep strengthening.
Awesome.
All very important for walking.
Yep.
The next component is the protective response. This is going to protect your child from bumping their head when they learn how to walk because there's a lot of falling involved. Yes, there's definitely a lot of falling involved when new walkers start to take their first steps. So there are a couple components actually with this. So you need to have the protective reaction, which is the quick response to throw your hands out and catch yourself. And you do actually have to have the arm strength to hold yourself up. So one thing that physical therapists all tell families is that kids should crawl on their hands and knees. And this is super important because they need to have the shoulder stability and the strength in the arms to catch themselves when they do fall.
That's a really good perspective, because we actually had this conversation with an occupational therapy assistant in last month's content, and we didn't mention, we talked about crawling and why it's so important, for hand strengthening and fine motor skills and all that stuff, but didn't even think about the aspect of being able to catch yourself, right? Because if you don't have that strength here to keep your arms extended, they go in and you're on your face. So that's a really great point.
So if you're finding that your child is losing their balance forward and you're not seeing the arms come out to protect themselves in time, don't be alarmed. It's something that can be practiced. So one of the things I do is I get a pillow and put it on the ground and then start them in a high kneel position, which is essentially on their knees with their bottom up, and then shift their weight forward and wait for the arms to come out. And once your child is able to do that, you know that they can try doing it from a standing position. So still use the squishy surface just in case.
Yeah.
But have them shift their weight forward, and you can help them if they need it, and just make sure that they're able to put their hands out in time.
I really like that.
Yeah.
That's good gold right there. Thanks, Miss Jess.
So along with the protective responses, cruising and practicing cruising is super important for kids before they start walking independently. Most kids will cruise for 3 to 4 months before really starting to move forward and taking those independent steps. And there are a lot of different ways to work on cruising. So the first way is just cruising along a parallel surface, essentially just one side of the table to the other side of the table. Then the next component that they work on is cruising on inside corner. So I know that sounds kind of strange, but there's they cruise inside corners, which essentially would be if 2 couches were touching, going from one side to the next side. And then developmentally, the next thing would be cruising an outside corner, which is cruising along the outside of a table. So there's less support, and that one is quite challenging for most kids.
Right.
And then finally, cruising across to another parallel surface. So if there were there was a couch on one side and a chair on the other side, that they would be able to make a 180-degree turn to then reach to the next surface. So working on cruising skills is very important when you're trying to work on independent walking, because there's a lot of balance and trunk rotation involved, and developmentally they should be doing it.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, Jessica is on here dropping some gold. These are great things that you can implement in your day-to-day or just playing with your little one. If this is a topic that you're really interested in, Jessica's actually inside of our Evolving Littles community, and she's diving a lot deeper into this subject. So more activities, more components to consider, red flags, what do physical therapists look for if our little one is struggling with this milestone. So we're having a much deeper conversation inside of that community. The link is down below if you want to learn more. And Jessica, just so our viewers know, where can they find you and where can they learn more about what you do and get more of your knowledge?
Yes, thank you for having me on.
Of course.
And I have an Instagram account under Stepping Stones PT. I'm also on Facebook at Stepping Stones Physical Therapy. Please join us for activities and toy recommendation, knowledge, all kinds of stuff, strengthening activities, all that you can do in the pool with your kiddos, so they don't even realize they're working on physical therapy or strength goals.
Jessica's amazing. You guys definitely follow her. I will link all of her social media information below in the description box, as well as her website. So thanks again for coming on.
Thank you.
And if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below, and I'm sure Jessica would be happy to jump on and answer some follow-up questions. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.